The transfer portal is open and the names are popping like hot fries. You need a QB? You're in luck. Some notable names have already dipped their toes into the water. Clemson's DJ Uiagalelei, Devin Leary is leaving NC State, and Hudson Card saying so long to Texas. They lead the way of a growing list of just QBs when it comes to the players who have entered the transfer portal. Devin Leary slowed by a torn pec this season, but his numbers with the Wolfpack were great during his time. 6,800 yards and 62 touchdowns. He's likely the top prize at QB in the portal. But then you also have guys like Luke Altmaier from Ole Miss, battled for the starting job and didn't win it there. Jeff Sims leaving Georgia Tech, and then Brennan Armstrong and Malik Hornsby round out the top 10 of our list of the top transfer portal quarterbacks for you to take a look at. Free agency in college football is here, so we bring in our national college football writer and our quarterback for CBS Sports, Dennis Dodd. Dennis, you tweeted yesterday to add another date to the calendar, and we should call it Portal Day. Now that that's here, yesterday alone, 500 players entered the portal. The total already over 3,000 players. Last year, it was 2,646. The number keeps growing year after year. Why has the portal become a place of so much chaos?
Well, Zach, we're still in infancy of the portal. You have to remember the one-time transfer rule came about in August of 2021. The portal had been around since 2018. All that did was say you could transfer without having to sit out. But the one-time transfer rule has been a game changer, and everybody's still trying to figure it out. Yesterday was the first formal window that the NCAA had established, and it goes from Monday until I think the day after the championship game on January 10th. But you can see what it's become. It's an all-in first day, everybody get their name in so they can be evaluated and find a new team for next season. So it's chaotic. You know, coaches dreaded this. They knew it was coming, but it's also kind of fun for folks like us who follow this stuff. It looks like a waiver wire. That's exactly what it is.
Do you think this is good chaos? Is this good for the sport and the way that NIL might factor into how things shake out over the future?
Yeah, the way I answer that, Zach, is it just is. You know, whether it's good or bad, legally, this isn't going away. The NCAA backed itself into a corner by not addressing this situation earlier. We all know about NIL. They just threw their hands up on July 1st, 2001 and let it go. And it was wild, wild west after that. Same with the portal. They should have let players transfer the same as the regular student. You know, there are those of us who transferred in college. College students transfer multiple times. Why shouldn't an athlete be able to do that? And now they are. So without pronouncing, an opinion on it, it just is. And those who accept it the fastest are going to be the most successful. There's two teams right at the top, TCU and USC. I don't have to tell you what they did this year that embraced it. TCU with 20 transfers, TCU with 14 transfers was in the playoff.
Seems like fans, they always like to see those big name transfers come and join their squad. Big names typically are quarterbacks. We showed that list of the top 10 in the portal already this year. Obviously a very important position. You want to have your QB. But it seems like everyone wants to find that next Joe Burrow, maybe the next Jalen Hurts. Who from this class do you think of transfers can be that top guy, that top QB to really propel their team to the next level?
Well, you have to remember what Joe Burrow was. He couldn't beat out guys at Ohio State. And when he transferred, he's a guy, but then he blew up. Okay, who's that guy? And I'm not saying it's apples to apples, but I'm looking at DJ Uiagalelei, who I think has to be fixed. Not physically, because we've seen the tools. Against Notre Dame in 2020, he set the passing record against Notre Dame, has struggled the last two seasons. We know that. He's out there. Somebody who fixes him between the ears, gets him back on point, is going to have possibly an All-American quarterback. And I would look for him maybe to go back out west. That's where he's from. His dad's all over social media. You're going to find out first from him on Twitter, by the way. But we've almost forgotten about him. Yeah, Devin Leary is going to be a fine pickup. So is, the likes of Graham Mertz, who I love. With his measurables at Wisconsin, didn't work out there. It will in a different offense, maybe a passing offense. But DJU is the big question mark sitting there. And if somebody ignites him, they're going to have a championship quarterback on their hands.
When it comes to the coaching search, one question that we already have answered is Deion Sanders taking that move from Jackson State going to Colorado. He's met with the Buffs, told the players that he's bringing his luggage. He said it's Louis. He's got folks coming and joining him in the portal and coming over from Jackson State. How will his move impact the portal and things that go on over there?
Well, there's going to be a big movement by Colorado. You saw the tweet and the video yesterday where he said he's bringing his luggage with him, meeting players, and it's all Louis Vuitton is what he's talking about. And basically told the players to, get ready to be kicked off the team. You had players texting their existing coaches saying, am I being cut? Yeah, it's a little bit harsh. It's the way of the world. It's how Deion Sanders and a lot of coaches do business. The difference is Deion's having his on film and in a documentary. At other schools, it's being done, behind closed doors. So when the history of the NCAA athletics moving from an amateur model to a pro model, these last 2 days with Deion is going to be a chapter in itself, because in a way, Colorado sold its soul. It's relaxing its transfer academic restrictions. It's bringing in Deion with a whole new roster. They cratered at 111, one of the worst Power 5 programs, and they're paying him top dollar. So they're willing to do anything to get back in the hunt. It's just kind of strange for Colorado, which did position itself as sort of an academic institution. I think the label now is not anymore. They're a football factory, or trying to be.
Colorado doesn't even have the money to be able to pay Deion yet, but they say they'll figure out a way at some point down the line. They'll get all that money. He's Dennis Dodd chopping up our college football as the portal starts churning and goes crazy. So that's what the Cover 3 podcast is talking about. Check out the newest episode. Came out this morning. Bud Elliott and Chris Hummer. Everything from day one, the portal.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.